right, source of joy. When you embitter your soul and break your spirit by meditating on all the wrong you've done, you're not helping yourself at all. On the contrary, this only strengthens the side of evil, which feeds on bitterness and depression. These negative traits can all be wiped out only with gladness and joy. Joy, 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 joy. The more you rejoice, the more you will render powerless these tools and weapons of the side of evil, and the more you will illuminate the darkness. Wow. So the darkness we're in comes from, sounds like, meditating all the wrong we've done. That's interesting. You look at a kid who comes into this world and is raised in a fine enough environment without a lot of criticism around, and get too much criticism from friends or teachers. They do have a light, a spirit about them, don't they? They don't have much darkness, but as we get older and hanging around any of these negative places or traits, then, people do that. And it does. The light of a kid, of that pure, shining, natural soul gets eclipsed. It's true. So if we can learn to shut down or avoid or not listen to this meditating, these voices and the radio stations in our brain that break our spirits, then the side of evil will become rendered powerless, he says, right? Amazing. And then the darkness will be illuminated and we'll be back to where we needed to be. Which is interesting. He says God himself is the source of joy. So when you rejoice, God's at your side. Final paragraph of this entry. Fortune is the one who can rejoice and always be happy. That's amazing. So does that mean that God is by the side of every kid? To repeat, the airplanes, I'm outside here on the porch of my wonderful synagogue, Afas Torah in Scottsdale, that God is by our side then. If what we're saying is correct, then by a child who's shining that light, that's literally the light of God shining. Is that correct? That's amazing. Maybe that's what lights us up so much about children. There's a lecture I wanted to once listen to, I never did. It's called Children Are Joy. I think it's a translation. Yeladim Eim Simcha. Yeah, so that would make sense then. It's interesting that the light children are giving off when it's not eclipsed, it's not rendered dark around them, is godly light. Something to think about. Amazing. So if we can draw out that light in us, get that little kid in us shining, a little kid in us to realize that we're not bad and we're not good, and get rid of the shame, get rid of the toxic guilt, then we'll be feeling good. So don't have a strong tool for you today, but just to work on internalizing this concept that, quote, meditating on all the wrong you've done, you're not helping yourself at all. I really want to focus on the word at all, because there's so many ways in which we think that is important, that we do have to meditate on the wrong that we've done. So ask yourself that and maybe consider journaling about it. Do you have rationales why it's important to meditate on the wrong that you've done? What does the word meditate mean here? Is that different than think about? All right, to be continued, and have an amazing, blessed day.